attention spans, wandering minds, and physically couldn't sit still. These are all possible symptoms of today's topic, ADD or attention deficit disorder. Some of you may know of this disorder by its World Health Organization classification, hyperkinetic disorder, or as ADHD, or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. In the 1950s, this disorder was determined to be a kind of mental illness and was called minimal brain damage. Later, in the 1970s, it was referred to as minimal cerebral dysfunction. The symptoms, which I'll talk about next, remained constant. To be considered a person with this disorder, one must from an early age show 6 or more symptoms of either inattention or hyperactivity in at least 2 settings. For example, in the home and in the classroom, to the extent that normal life is disrupted. Symptoms of inattention would include ignoring details, making careless mistakes, inability to follow directions, or failing to finish things. Symptoms of hyperactivity would include constantly moving around, inability to sit still, excessive talking, or constantly interrupting others. The causes of ADD remain unknown. Researchers in the 1950s ruled out oxygen deprivation or brain hemorrhage. Today, researchers believe the cause might be connected to blood flow to the brain or an imbalance of neurotransmitters. Something that has been determined is that about 40% of ADD children have a parent with the same disorder, and about 35% have a sibling with the same disorder. As you can imagine, researchers are looking for a related gene. Now, before I move on to treatment, I'd like to open the floor to questions.
The atmosphere is a mixture of several gases. There are about 10 chemical elements which remain permanently in gaseous form in the atmosphere under all natural conditions. Of these permanent gases, oxygen makes up about 21% and nitrogen about 78%. The remaining 1% is comprised of argon, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, and a few other gases. Atmospheric gases hold in suspension great quantities of dust, pollen, smoke, and other impurities. The atmosphere has no definite upper limits, but gradually becomes thin until it is imperceptible. Until recently, it was assumed that the air above the first few miles gradually grew thinner and colder at a constant rate. However, recent studies, which are being conducted by Earth satellites and missile probing, have proved this assumption to be incorrect. The atmosphere has 3 well-defined strata. The layer of air next to the Earth is known as the troposphere. The troposphere extends upward for about 10 miles and makes up about 75% of all the weight of the atmosphere. The troposphere is the warmest part of the atmosphere because it immediately surrounds the Earth's surface, which absorbs most of the solar radiation and warms the air around it. The most striking characteristic of the troposphere is the steady decrease of temperature with increasing elevation. The upper layers are colder due to their greater distance from the Earth's surface and rapid radiation of heat into space. The temperature decreases about 3.5 degrees per 1,000-foot increase in altitude. Above the troposphere is a zone called the stratosphere. It extends to a height of about 50 miles. Within the lower portions of the stratosphere is a layer of ozone gases. Ozone gases filter out most of the ultraviolet rays from the sun, and the ozone layer varies with air pressure. If it were not for the ozone layer, the full blast of the sun's ultraviolet light would burn our skin, blind our eyes, and eventually result in our destruction. Within the stratosphere, the temperature is relatively uniform. The layer above the stratosphere is called the ionosphere because it consists of ions, which are electrically charged particles. Ions are emitted by the sun. The aurora borealis originates within this highly charged portion of the atmosphere. The ionosphere is the most fascinating but the least known of the 3 strata.
The Metamorphosis is well known as the bizarre story in which a young businessman awakens one morning to find himself changed into a monstrous bug. The author of this story, Franz Kafka, is the subject of today's lecture. Franz Kafka was born into a German-speaking Jewish family in Prague.
Although New York State and New York City are synonymous to many people, the state has many other interesting cities which play important roles. For example, the state capital of New York is not New York City, but a city called Albany. Albany is located on a hill on the west bank of the Hudson River, about 140 miles north of New York City. It is an important center for land and water transportation in the northeastern part of the United States. It is a crossroads center for highway connections, Montreal to New York, and Buffalo to Boston. Located at the eastern terminal of the Erie Canal, Albany also serves as an important port connecting shipping between the Great Lakes, Canada, and the Atlantic ports. In 1609, Henry Hudson, the English navigator employed by the Dutch, arrived at what is now Albany. He ended his exploration of the river there, and the river was named after him. In 1614, Dutch traders built Fort Nassau, but it was short-lived. In 1624, they built Fort Orange in its place, which was the first permanent Dutch establishment within New York. It was set up as a trading post to do business with the Iroquois Indians for furs. Fort Orange was taken over by the English in 1664, and it was renamed Albany, because the Duke of York, who was given all of New York as a gift by his brother, the King of England, also held the title of Duke of Albany in Scotland. Albany was always a very important crossroads town in the colonial period. It is the closest English city to the Iroquois Indian nations of western New York. Therefore, Albany became an important center for negotiations with the Iroquois, and it served as an important supply center for the English expeditions against the French in Canada. Several conferences were held in Albany during the colonial period. The most important of these was the Albany Congress, held in 1754. At this Congress, Benjamin Franklin presented his plan of union, a forerunner of the United States Constitution. Because of this, Albany has been known as the cradle of the Union. Albany was made the capital of New York State in 1797, with the opening of the Champlain Canal in 1822 and the completion of the Erie Canal in 1825. Albany became an important commercial city. After the end of the Civil War in 1865, increasing industrialization and immigration added to Albany's commercial importance. Several manufacturing plants were established in the 1860s and 1870s. The increasing prominence of New York State in national politics after 1900 enhanced the position of the capital city.